Peace and blessings, everyone out there. It's RJ Mahdi, and this is Exodus Radio. We do this every week on Tuesday to, share a little information with you all about life here on the ground, about ways to get settled, about strategies for growth and economic prosperity, for any of the concerns that you may have when it comes to getting involved with the continent. And so here we are another week. Before we get started, everybody go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share this video to someone you think it may help. And leave us a comment. Let us know where you're tuning in from, so we can shout you out. We are broadcasting live from Senegal, West Africa today. We will be joined shortly by some of our guests, as well as our guest hosts, Sister Yaa and Cheif Foday. And we're going to talk a little bit about community service today. So that's today's topic. We're going to talk about ways to, be in service to the communities here on the ground when you're in transition and while you are, living and working in these communities. And so as we always, try and share perspectives and ways, viewpoints that may not always be readily available or often shared. On today's show, we're going to definitely approach one of those topics, and that's community service. And why is it important? Why is it important to be in service to community? And this is not just on the continent. Of course, here on Exodus Radio, and much of what we do is about being in connection with the continent. But these strategies are things that you can use in your existing communities as well, especially if you are looking for ways to improve those communities. And so, whereas a lot of people have concerns, not everybody is willing to get involved in the solutions to those concerns or challenges. And, that's what separates the doers from the talkers. And we want to be doers. We want to be walkers. We want to be the kind that are the change rather than the type that talk about it. So on today's episode of Exodus Radio, I want to hear from you all in the comments. Make sure to check in with us. Let us know where you are watching from. Shout out to Mo Rego, Global African Diaspora Family. Always here checking in with us on Exodus Radio. What's going on? What's happening around the world, first of all, because, it's looking like things are kind of going in the same circle that they've been going politically. We see a lot of the same, rhetoric coming back to the forefront now that a new administration is in the U.S. We see a lot of the same people who a year or a couple years ago were looking for change are seemingly going back to sleep. So, y'all talk to me, man. Let me know what's happening in y'all's communities, especially as it pertains to community service, though. Who are the walkers where you are? Who are the ones who are actually, making change happen rather than talking about it in your cities and your areas? What's going on, Taki? Shout out to you, man. Yeah, the family's checking in. Here on the ground, we are still receiving new repatriates and families every day. Just to catch you guys up on some news here. A lot of development-based things are taking place. We're getting ready for the return. I don't know if you guys if you've never been to the continent, or if you've never been to Senegal, you should definitely be making this date available for travel. All right, June 13th through the 20th. We're going to be hosting in partnership with New World Media here in Senegal, The Return, a 7-day event. We're inviting you guys all out for tons of development-based, programs. We're going to be having some major discussions during that week, really pertaining to development, really pertaining to building, to creating from a space of collective development. And so, whenever you guys, come to the continent, always have that in mind, that it's not just, a vacation. It's not just leisure, but how can I get involved in the development? And so that's gonna, it's gonna come out of what we talk about today in terms of community service as well. What's going on, Candy? She says, "I hate it here, America. America, once I leave, go to hell." Hey, I mean, it be like that sometime. That is very frustrating. Frustrating. My sister says she about to book her ticket right now. Come on down, sis. We will be here waiting on you, welcoming you, and more than happy to help you get started. And speaking of which, guys, the Exodus Club, right? Our specific members only club that helps you to repatriate or invest in the continent is 10% off right now. Y'all take advantage of that. We're only doing that for a little time as we approach some major dates here coming up. So we're going to surprise you, but it is going to go up. So take advantage of it right now. Join the Exodus. If you go on the website, it's scrolling across the screen right now, madeinafricaproject.com. Go to the relocate to Africa page, or even if you just scroll down on the main page, you will see the button there to sign up. You can fill out the entire form, apply. At the end of the application, you can go ahead and pay at 10% off. We do use a Senegal-based payment processor, Paydunia. Shout out to Paydunia, our new payment processors here. So when you get to that payment page, it will be in Safa. There'll be a little French mixed in, but the appropriate conversion is there, so you'll be able to see. So yeah, you guys definitely join the Exodus, and that's how we're going to be able to help you guys the most. That's how we're going to be able to give you, that value of assistance. All right, K-Tay, what's going on? Back another week, I see. Shout out to you. She's here every week, definitely keeping it locked in on Exodus Radio and learning a lot, I expect. So, welcome to the show. All right, guys. So here on the continent as well, just catching y'all up on things that are going on. Trying to put y'all up on some new stuff. But yeah, here on the ground as well, we are taking on new partnerships for not only our land deals, where we're making land space available to build communities that we can, establish and have control of our own economic, prosperity and development. But in addition, we have a hotel that we are collectively investing in. Just passed the deadline on that. So you can't get in on that anymore. That one's sold up. But in addition to that, we have other opportunities for you to go ahead and see how you can get invested. Some of which require very minimal investment. In fact, the hotel deal we are just finalizing now was a $200 minimum, but others can vary as well. So it's time to get in and really see what options you have available, because if you don't, you won't know, right? It'll be next year. Somebody will tell you, "Oh yeah, a year ago I jumped in and I got invested in so and so, and this is what I'm doing," and you'll be like, "Man, where was I at a year ago?" So don't procrastinate. Don't put it to the side. Now is the time. Join the Exodus. Hit us up directly. We've got new consultants now in multiple countries. In fact, Sister Yaa and Cheif Foday have now both been licensed by the Made in Africa Project to sell the Exodus memberships, but also to represent us in terms of assisting people with repatriating and investing. We also have new consultants here in Senegal, two new ones also in Ghana. With Sister Yas, you've also got Gina Ifoe, the African superstar, and our sister Victorious from Khalifa Consulting. So all of these folks are actual repatriates. All of these folks have done it successfully themselves. All of these folks have, built their own reputations and have been putting in their community service and have been building, collectively with other people and being positive and offering solutions. So these are the kind of people that you want to deal with so that we can, avoid some of the pitfalls that we've seen in the past. All right. So if you're ready to start learning how you can get invested, even if it's from a distance, join the Exodus, and we can put you in a position to do so. All right. Shout out to Trek with Beck, one of our Exodus members, and also a member of our Al Kabalon development group. This sister is dynamic, a water specialist. I mean, this sister is a genius in her own right. Definitely somebody that is valuable to the movement. Thanks for checking in, sis. So today we're talking about community service. And, this is important because as we come home, one thing we don't want to do is we don't want to come home and do what colonizers do, right? So we don't want to take advantage and not be able to replenish or not be able to reciprocate whatever it is that is benefited. And so community service starts from a collective mentality, right? Even if you just take the community part out of it and just think of it in a sense of, people, right? If I come, whether it's home, right? You come back from away and you come back to mom's house, right? And mom welcomes you back home. Oh, here's your room. It's waiting on you. Here's your space. And you come home and you just start doing your own thing, running your own show, and leaving mom's house a mess. How's mom going to feel about that? Right? So when you come back home to mom's house, you make sure to not only pick up behind yourself, but also contribute something to the house. We take care of this. We help mom with that. Mom, a light bulb's out. Let me fix it for you. All right. Mom, the dishes are dirty. I see you busy. Don't worry. I got them. Mom, I got some new connections at work that can help us build that shed that you need. Right. That's service to the household. And as we make our reconnection with the continent, that same service is necessary in mom's house, in the motherland, right? So we always want to remember the impact that we can have if we really come wholeheartedly and create spaces in which we can be mutually beneficial. All right. And one of the first things that we want to even differentiate in that is the difference between community service and charity, right? Because those are two different things, right? And so, the West has always kicked us into this mode of, Africa is where we just give charity, right? Donate 50 cents a day, donate to this, donate to that, give them our throwaway clothes, our junk cars we don't want, right? That's what the Western mentality, the colonizer mentality thing. And I'm not saying don't be charitable, all right? We all are required to give charity. That's a daily thing. That's something we do all the time. But when we talk about community service, we're talking about being in service, in almost indebted to the point where the obligation is on us, not the, in charity, it's like a, how do we call it? It's like a sympathy move, maybe, right? Right? You have that kind of has that, but service is like, hey, let's do this together. Let's fix this together. Let's work together on this. And so there's a lot of instances in which, our people even get that mixed up. We spend a lot of time, just in charity mode until we figure out that here on the ground, that can become a endless cycle, right? And we don't want to enable our brothers and sisters to just be dependent on charity, right? The teach a man to fish strategy, right? Teaching a man to fish is community service. Giving a man some fish to eat is charity, right? So community service is what has to happen across the board. Again, this is for our people in the West as well as our people returning. We have to be in service to each other. We see our younger brothers out. I saw a video the other day, and the brother took, some of the, I see in Atlanta, a lot of the young brothers are doing the waters where they sell waters and whatnot. And I've seen even videos of people who are like, giving them more money, $20 or $100 and saying, hey, good job, and that's cool. That's motivational. That's respectful. But I saw the other day a brother took these kids and sat them down and taught them Forex. He sat them down. He taught them coding. He's putting them into classes to open their minds up to make them even more valuable to themselves. You understand? And so that's the difference between community service and charity. Charity is, here's a $20. You worked hard today. Great. I applaud you. That's charity. That's great. But community service is giving these brothers an opportunity to do for themselves, do it collectively, sustainably. And so that's what we're talking about today when we talk about community service, and especially in terms of coming home to the continent. All right. Greetings, Shirley. A lot of folks are checking in here. We got Sifale says, I'm tuning in from South Africa. Does this page have a Clubhouse account? I am on Clubhouse at King RJ Mahdi. We're actually building a little programming set up there as well. So you guys definitely follow us on Clubhouse. If you have the app, you can only have it if you have an iPhone. I know that, kind of blows, but for now, that's their rules. And you can only join if you have a invite. So if you have an iPhone, you've got to find somebody else with an iPhone or with a Clubhouse account to send you an invite. And then you can join. But Clubhouse is definitely a great place to do some building. Shout out to everybody that's on there with us. We're really building like a little community, a bunch of different groups and clubs where our interests all align. So follow me on Clubhouse, same at or username you see here on the screen at King RJ Mahdi. Follow me and hit me up. Let's connect. Let me know if you're on there, if you're a moderator, if you're a speaker, if you're having groups, invite me, ping me. I'll definitely show up and share some knowledge with y'all. All right. Shout out to Wisdom says, united we stand, divided we fall. This is the mentality of community service. This is the mentality of community service. United we stand, divided we fall. We stand together, we can actually serve one another. And I think that, that gets confused a lot of times. And that's why, when we hear community service, especially, in the States, right? We hear community service, you start thinking about probation, you start thinking about, those speeding tickets that you had to go do community service for, that's different. That's punishment. Don't think of it like that, right? This is us standing together, doing for each other, and creating opportunities that can be sustainable. My brother Cheif Foday chimed in. He actually couldn't attend today's show. He's actually traveling, but he sent word via audio file. He's going to actually share some of his own experiences with um, community service there in Sierra Leone. Let's listen in.
With this emergency happening, we immediately said, you know what, these things have to go now to the impacted community. And so we went over there, met some people, um, established a direct connection with the community organizers there. And immediately the next day, we went to deliver the things. And we took boxes of clothes. It wasn't too much, but it was appreciated, as you can imagine. And gave what resources we could and formed a committee with the people there just to remain in communication, like on call for them. And we returned back to the side of town that we live on and where we had a stronghold, which here in Freetown would be the East Coast. And this happened, I would say, on the West Coast of Freetown. And it's difficult to explain, but it actually means something almost culturally, even at the local level. The communities are starkly different. The grassroots level in terms of accommodations, in terms of just a lot of things from the West Coast to the East Coast. The East Coast has a very large population, but has very poor accommodations, social amenities in general. Although, it's not a village or nothing like that. People have lights and water and things like that, but there's much more needed than what's there. So we lived on the East Coast, and we lived near a community called Calabar Town, and that's the main market that we would go to. Here in Africa, they have street markets. You buy your food right on the side of the streets, and it services thousands, tens of thousands of people every day within that community, within that surrounding neighborhood. And of course, that's where we was getting our food from. And people on our side of town began to worry about cholera. There was a legitimate cholera scare. People were afraid that the hundreds of dead bodies that were swept out to the sea by the floods and the mudslide would pollute the water, would cause some kind of, disaster. And people were just afraid of it. And we was like, well, you know what? It's really time to tackle this sanitation and hygiene problem. And so our act of charity was taking what we had already to give to people in need, to the people that were in need. And not just out of sympathy, but out of also service. Now, we didn't live in that community. That wasn't our community. And oftentimes the people who give charity are not the people in the actual community where they're being charitable. Of course, you have people in the community who give back, but that's not typically viewed as charity. Um, I'm talking about people from outside the community, people who from the East Coast of Freetown, responding to a devastation on the West Coast of Freetown, shooting over there and giving what we got out of love and respect, and just trying to be of assistance and of service in that time. And then going back to our community and our operations and figuring out what we're going to do about the cholera scare in our community, and coming to the conclusion that we needed to spark a campaign. We needed to spark a campaign that clearly let the people know what our purpose was, what the meaning of the campaign was going to be. And we had a vision for the campaign because we realized the relationship between health and filth. You understand? And that we cannot have dirty markets. And we just took it on. We took it on to say, you know what? We need to spark this Be Clean campaign. and we did it. We did it. We organized in that market, mobilized community youth, the market women, the elders, everybody on four massive cleanups to spark the Be Clean campaign, and that was 2017 to 2018. And from there, we've continued it. We've taken it to several other communities. We've done several cleanups in King Jimmy and Government WAF, which are historic site zones here in Freetown, directly connected to the transatlantic slave trade, as well as the repatriation legacy of our ancestors returning back to Africa. It's the first site that they ever returned in Africa to form an actual community, which is today Freetown and the Creole people. Very, 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 very important to make distinction between what is charitable, which is okay. Hey, you know, give to the needy. You know, that's what's up. But that's not sustainable. That's not sustainable. The only thing that is sustainable is community service organizing, grassroots organizing, taking authority over the most local institutions, from family to corner stores to, neighborhood pharmacies, whatever, health clinics, whatever, and bringing it under the community's democratic control for the advancement of the community. Now, one thing about community service is that community service is an act that is not compensated. You don't get paid for it. Just like charity is an act that you don't get paid for. It's a giveaway. It's something that you give. It's a service or it's a charity. And some of us know community service in the legal sense, where you might be on probation and have to perform a certain amount of hours of community service. Others know community service because while in school, sometimes it's mandatory to do some service in the communities. Some know because they're military. Military does a lot of community service type of venturing that's not charitable. You understand? Things like that. So when we see the Be Clean campaign coming out of a Pan African organization, one of the six Exodus Alliance organizations, and now last year we've been able to actually start our first international mobilization and organize in six cities around the world on a single day a massive cleanup, and we took tons and tons and tons of trash off of the streets and neighborhoods all around the world through a coordinated action with very minimal resources and excellent execution, excellent project implementation. And that's what it takes. Community service is an ongoing act. It's an ongoing act. It's an ongoing process. And in our tradition, it's an institution in and of itself. So if I could say anything about charity and community service, that's what I would say. I would say be charitable when it's time to be charitable, but always, always serve your community, serve your people. Thank you for March.
Nice. So that was Chief Foday Ajamu Mansoure, leader of Basani, the Black Star Action Network International, and member of the Exodus Alliance, talking about ways that he and his organization, he and his family, his beautiful wife Kenya, his entire association there, President Ebony, who's also on Clubhouse, who's been linking with us. You guys are doing a great job there in Sierra Leone, just, leading by example of what it means to be, in service to the community, what it means to be a part of the community first, right? So when you're a part of a community, service comes natural, right? When you love a place, you want to see it do better. When you see something that's out of place, you want to help fix it, right? And so these are the times when we, should be enacting our community service, right? When we see things that, are out of place, or things that we can fix, or things we have solutions or could bring solutions to, these are the times that we should be acting on them, right? So, this new day that we're in right now of being doers, as I always say, right? We're a generation of doers, right? We're not sitting by the wayside. We're not waiting on anybody to be a savior of ours. We're not, allowing ourselves to be, misled and manipulated, right? We're taking control of our lives and our situations. This is what's necessary in a time like this, right? This right here, community, right? Because without community, there is no security. Without security, there is no growth. And without growth, there's no prosperity, right? Let's rewind that. Without community, there is no security. And without security, there's no growth. Without growth, there's no prosperity. We cannot build on a rickety foundation. We cannot build on a faulty foundation. You understand? We have to build in environments that are strong and being upheld by those who live and work in that community. My sister says she's getting things in order. She's ready to go. Definitely contact me beforehand. Hit me up in advance, Joyland. Join the Exodus now so you can start planning in advance. I literally had somebody hit me up just this morning, and I always say this, and I try to, like I say, we're here out of service, but I had somebody hit me up this morning, 10 o'clock this morning, and goes, I'm in Dakar. I'm not here long. I need help getting an apartment. And I'm like, all right, I want to help. How long? I'm here till the weekend. Shit, come on. Y'all can't surprise me like this now. We hit us up in advance. Give us a heads up, right? We can set things up for you well in advance. So when you get here, it's smooth sailing. That's better for you. Don't come and have to pay for a hotel until you find something, waste all your money. All right. So hit us up in advance. LC Nelson says, bravo, Cheif Foday. Chief is a true chief because the brother has number one, he's been here longer than I have on the soil. But what he's been doing greatly since he's been here is grassroots involvement. And that's very important, right? Being an ally to the people, being among the people, galvanizing the people to bring solutions for the people. That's what this brother has been doing in Sierra Leone for the past 8+ years, right? He hasn't even, been doing too much of the whole reaching outside part because his main focus has been to fix the communities and the environment of the place in which he loves, which is Sierra Leone. His family's there, his community's there, the Gullahs, right? They have their connection, they have their links are already in place. He loves this place and he wants to see it do better. So he's been on the ground working day in and day out to do that. And so I'm going to share another example of that with you guys. And this example is from when we first arrived here, 2014, 2015 perhaps. And I was the media director or a media director in the city of Medina Bay here in Cowlack, community that we love, that I've been a part of for decades, right? My family and my loved ones. And so as we began to, welcome others there, there was a concern of some of the waste management practices or lack thereof. And so instead of being a part of the party of people who only saw a way to speak negatively about an issue, we galvanized our circle, our people, all of the repatriates and African Americans and expats who lived in this community. We all got together and put together our own solution that we could contribute to the community. So sit tight and check it out.
For the GAMO 2015 Mawlid celebration, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم طهور شطر الإيمان. Prophet Muhammad said that purity is half the faith. So we're trying to follow in the footsteps of Prophet Muhammad and making the city clean, welcoming the guests.
Assalamu alaikum. We're here on behalf of the Give One Project team. Everybody knows, to clean up, the street, to clean up the house, to clean up the mosque. All the way from Cape Town, Yaa and Medina, right, trying to make a difference. We're just finishing up our second cleanup effort here in Medina. Great success. We had men, women, children participating. Keep Medina by clean, and alhamdulillah, we finished it. We've done all we can.
We just finished our cleanup for the galley here in Medina Bay. Hopefully everything will be nice and clean.
Hello everyone, we just had our second cleanup with I am Medina Bay, and it was a great effort that we all put together there with the Give One project. I say thanks to the students that came all the way from Dorong. The students who came from the AAII to assist us today, and all the guests that were just here for the GAMO. They all took advantage of the day and helped us. We want to say thank you to all of them. Keep Medina clean.
I am Medina Bay.
All right. So that is just an example of ways that we can get involved here on the ground. And shout out to all of our teen that was there. It's actually kind of a flashback watching that. A lot of those even young people that were with us, we saw Give One Project. These are local teenagers, young people who years ago, like 2015-ish, we taught English and computers and business and economics. And now some of those guys are actually traveling the world. It's funny to watch that video. These guys are adults now, starting families. They have businesses of their own. Just another example of community service. We're joined now by my sister Yaa, Sankofa. What's going on, sister?
Oh, hey, brother. All is well. Just jumping from one thing to the next. I'm sorry for being late. I had a business conference call I had to take care of, which was very important because it has to do with community service.
So, right. Talk to us.
I'm a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, and we working with the domestic violence unit of the Ghana Police Department here, and they're commissioning the first domestic violence facility in all of West Africa. It's a women's shelter, children's shelter, And Zeta Phi Beta sorority is partnered with the Ghana Police Department to help them furnish the building and do some other things. And one of the other service projects that we agreed to do is to raise the funds to actually build a second facility in Accra, a domestic violence shelter. So
Wow.
yes,
So
I
now
was
2
just
of
on a
them?
conference. That's the goal. Whether we want to have one in every region of Accra. So right now they're also working on commissioning one in Kumasi and up in the Shanti region. But the goal of the Ghana Police Department is to have one because right now, as it stands, rape victims and abused children and domestic violence. Men and women who are victims of domestic violence really don't have any immediate place to go for refuge, and sometimes they find children. They don't have facilities to keep children when they find children who are lost and things like that. So Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated has partnered with the Ghana Police Department to help them bring those resources into Ghana and to be a model for the rest of West Africa for these type of services. So I was just on the
Shout
line
out to
with
the
the
Zetas.
superintendent of the domestic violence unit. Yes. So I mean, we do,
That's
man,
my
we do a
guy.
lot. We had just because we're talking about community service, I want to just, I know a lot of y'all be hating on D9 and the Greek lettered organizations, but let me just say something on behalf of the Greek
Y'all
lettered
be doing y'all thing.
organizations. Greek lettered, these people are not believing that they are Greeks. We know that we are not Greeks. We know that we are very aware that we are African people. Okay, and I just want to say that these D9 organizations are putting in work on the ground in Africa. So I just find it so funny when people be talking all this stuff about them, negative stuff, but not knowing that these people are in Africa doing all types of good service work, all types of service work. You know what I'm saying? And they don't get the recognition.
Really quickly. Wait, well, I want to answer that really quickly because I can vouch for that. It's funny. When I might have been about 21 or 2, and I started an organization in Atlanta called the Young World United. This was like, community service, right? It was a completely, not-for-profit thing. And we were just, teaching young people simple stuff, really, small. And we had the biggest struggle was to find out where to meet with these people. I had a friend who actually introduced me to the Cynthia McKinney campaign in Atlanta when Cynthia McKinney had her run for Congress, I believe it was. And, we participated in that. But her campaign office was actually in the Omega Sci-Fi World Headquarters building, which is in Decatur, Georgia, right in the middle of our neighborhood, huge headquarters. And so I met a guy there. I'll never forget the guy. Met him at Cynthia McKinney's campaign office, and he goes, you should start that organization that you want to do. And I tell him, we don't know where to do it at. And immediately in the first conversation, this guy gave us an office. In the first conversation, this guy gave us an office. There was an available office on the ground floor, just as you walk into the headquarters building to the left. And this guy literally was like, no rent, no cost to you, no nothing. There's a desk in there. There's tables, chairs, whatever you need. It's yours. And I swear to God to you, me and everybody I knew, shout out to DJ Fire, Yusuf. He jumped in with us. My friend Lade, who's actually Nigerian, but lived in Atlanta, jumped in with us. All of us got together. We decked out this place. And for it, I think we were on there maybe like it was like a summer program we did or something like that. But if it wasn't for, that brother from, the Qs, maybe we wouldn't have been able to do it. We wouldn't have been able to even try our hand in it. So definitely vouch for what Sister Yaa is saying. Our Greek brothers and sisters are showing and walking more than they're talking. And community service is at the forefront.
And they put their money where their mouth is. I'm gonna tell you something about these people. Y'all can hate on them all you want, but they don't just be talking. You got all these armchair revolutionaries sitting on the internet talking about what should be done, what should be done. But these doggone brothers and this D9, these the Omegas, the Alphas, the Kappas, the Deltas, they on the ground in Africa.
Right.
They're building water wells in communities all
Right.
over. Zeta Phi Beta alone, we have commissioned over 67 water wells in Ghana alone.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
You know, the
And
Sigmas
just in Ghana?
we just had a commissioning this past Saturday. They just did another water well. The Omegas over here bringing water, clean water into
How long has that
communities.
been going
It's
on?
all type of stuff these
What's the
brothers and
time
sisters
span
are
for
doing.
that?
I mean, it's just amazing. I'm proud. Just in Ghana. They're not just in Ghana. They're all over. They're in Liberia doing the same thing. They're just all over.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
Oh shoot,
This
we've
what we got to be
been
doing.
those water wells. Some of them will go all the way back 40, 50 years.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. That we've been putting wells in. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So not only, and then when you say you're doing a project over here, a community service project, they come, when you say the money, they come with the money. You know what I'm saying? It's not that he and Han and coming up with excuses and this and that, blah, blah, blah. Nope, they come with that money and they get it done. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I have to respect them for that.
And
so,
we were just talking about, it's funny that
it's a lot of work doing
we were just on Clubhouse. We were just on Clubhouse. We had a room and they were talking about, how do we identify leadership? And they were saying, how do we know who's a leader, who's not a leader, who should we even believe, et cetera. And even even as far as how should we define our allies outside of the Black race? Like, how do we know they're an ally or not? And so the initial topic kept coming up of, money. Right? Who's the one who is, giving us money, or who's the one, especially in terms of like folks outside of our race, like, they're giving us money. But then we had to really curtail it back a little bit and define even that, because money can be used a lot of ways. But what speaks louder than even money is actions. And so that is the defining point of community service, or of service, period. If you see a blind man walking, and he's about to walk into traffic, and you standing across the street, or you standing a few steps away or whatever, and you just yell at that guy, hey, don't go that way, right? That's cool, all right? Or you rush to act, right? And grab that guy by his elbow and say, sir, let me show you, right? Let me walk with you across this street. We are together. In Wolof, and they say Nyokobo, right? Nyokobo. Like we're all a part of it. We're a part of the same thing. We're one, right? When you take that approach, that becomes service. Right? Because even in the commercial setting, right? In a restaurant, right? When they say service, she's delivering something to you. She's acting in service of you, right? And at that point, it's for pay. But we have those instances without pay as well. It's funny. There are a lot of people who come here from other African countries who may come to Senegal. They come from Benin, they come from Togo, they come from Ghana, they come from Mauritania, they come from Morocco. All of these countries, right? The leaders here, the community leaders here have, their own towns, etc. People come from other countries just to be in service. That's it. No economic agenda behind it. No, I'm trying to get something back from you. There's no pay in exchange. Like, I'm just here to serve you. That's all I'm here for. I'm just here to just be in service to this community that I love. I will serve food to your guests for free. I will teach a language to these students for free or for almost nothing. Just take care of where I'm staying at. It's okay. I'm doing it for service. There are people who come from countries around the world.
Yeah.
In Kaolack, there was an organization that came all the way from Turkey. Right? They had contacted us online. They said, you know, we have this allotment, you know, of things that we want to accomplish, you know, a certain amount of schools and feedings and all these things. Came all the way here and just was like, where should we build a school at? We just want to build a school. I promise you, this is on my life. You tell us where to build it, we'll build it there. I brought them to a community that we love and said, you know, here go the elders.
Yeah.
Here go the people in charge. Do it. Let's see it. And within a matter of 90 days, there was a school erected and opened. And they just left it. They didn't ask for anything. No rent, no tuition.
That's beautiful.
We don't want anything out of it. Our goal was to just build a school.
Didn't ask for anything. Yeah.
You guys put whatever curriculum you want. You guys can use it for how many ever students, whatever subjects. It don't matter. We just came here just to be in service. That's it. And we're gone. We're out. We're out of your business and your affairs, right? That's service. You understand? So, you know, we want to see that more within our communities and from our own people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Sister, y'all got that delay.
And you know, that's the whole idea of that's the whole idea of Sankofa also, is to be on the ground to assist our people who don't have the financial resources to be able to come without really expecting anything in return, except that you help other people. You know what I'm saying? Help other people. You know, give something back so we can help more people come. You know, it's not for anybody's personal gain. It's just, okay, support the program. We're gonna help you, and then when you get established, then so we can help somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'll be glad when we get to a point where I can bring on some staff, and you know, because I'm tired.
It's time for that. It's time for that.
I'm wore out. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, man. Create them jobs, sis. Let's do it.
I'm telling you, brother, but because it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. And you know, think about it. Like right now, I'm dealing with this immigration process for people. I don't charge people anything to assist. Y'all need to get your residency. I'm gonna help you get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm able to help you get it because we do have some resources coming in through the program that allow me to provide free assistance to people. To be of service to those who need it. You understand? So yes, that's Sankofa is a community service project. It's
right.
Yep. I was able to provide, help 30-something families get land over here. They are still in the States. These people trusted me. They sent their money. I've paid for their land. I'm going to be picking up their documents. I didn't ask for anything for doing that. I didn't ask for a dime because you know what? This is my thing. I know that a lot of people outside need somebody that they can trust to.
You breaking up, sis. Oh man. Yeah, I can't hear us.
Get your damn land. I'm not playing with these people. You see what I'm saying? So you gonna get it. You know what I mean? So because I know a lot of people can't travel right now. Fortunately for me and my husband, when we were in the States, we had our family. We had my husband's brothers here on the ground to handle our business for us. People that we could trust, that we send money, things were going to get done. And I know a lot of our people don't have that. So what I do is I act in service of our people. Okay, I'll be your representative on the ground to make sure your stuff get done. You know what I'm saying? All I ask is that people support the program so that I can do these things for you without asking you for money. Because as soon as you ask people, okay, I'll go do this for you, but pay me this, they automatically think it's a scam or something like that. So I wanted to remove that from people. I'll do it for you. You don't have to do anything. all we need is to support the program, and I'll just be the person running around. Now it's getting to the point where it is become overwhelming. A lot of people are coming. A lot of people need different things. I need to be able to bring on staff to assist. So, to do certain things. So we do need people to support the Sankofa Repatriation Assistance Program. If you want somebody on the ground to help you when you need some help doing something, support the program.
Support the program.
That's it. And
it's
the support,
simple,
well,
like,
we're only asking
this
people
is
for
collective
$1.
economics.
I mean, $1.
And even if you're somebody who doesn't need the assistance, that's still what collective economics is, right? So if you are somebody who is well off, all right, maybe you don't need help. Maybe you could, up and fly, get on a private jet and come yourself. Maybe you can't, right? Maybe you're not coming at all, right? Maybe I'm not really coming. But still, collectively, we can help get other people there. Other people who may not have it. Other people who may not be well off or may not have that extra, but still need to make that journey. And there are those people. I think a lot of people take it for granted. The actual, desperation, if I will, of some of our people. Like, some of our people have no other choice. Right. So there are those of you, you got your good house and mortgage, you've got your decent paying job, you're able to, fend for yourself. You're okay. And you feel like, is it necessary? Right. But there are other people who don't have any other options. There are other people who are struggling with children and trying to find schools that are adequate to teach them and trying to find jobs that will pay enough to feed them and trying to find communities that aren't toxic and won't contribute to their mental, health deficits, right? There are those people who are having those actual issues and they need an option, right? So when you make a contribution collectively, that's what you're doing. And so that is, charitable, right? But there's also ways that you can contribute in a community service way. There are also ways that you can invest and create jobs for those people that are more sustainable, just like my brother Cheif Foday was just saying. All right. There are ways that you can create sustainable roads for them. Right. And these will be a foundation of security. Right. So when Sankofa tells you that, hey, I build houses, right? I help people with residency. I have the connections here to help people when they're here. You, as someone who may have additional resources, should reach out to this sister and say, I can add this to your program. I can add that to your program. I can throw in a few extra houses. I can invest in, an apartment building and your company build it, and then we'll let people stay in it. All right. We'll bring those staff that you need. Right. Peep game now. All right. I'll contribute. Let's build a building there. Right. And then those people that you need to be staffed, they can stay there. Right. And help you build out this program.
Thank you.
In the end, we all benefit. Me as the landowner.
Thank you.
People who now have jobs and opportunities. You as the developer and the builder of this thing. We all can come out of this with a win. That's community service. That's collective development. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about.
Get enough land where we got garden growing and people go out there every day and pick fresh fruits and vegetables and nobody has to pay. You come help us work in the garden. It's a community, a repack community garden. Everybody work. We grow the food. You need some food. Come pick up some food. It's simple. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And
absolutely.
I think a lot of people really have a mentality towards it that's untouchable or unreachable. I hear this a lot when I consult with a lot of our members. They feel like to create an effect or to have an effect, it takes some untouchable, untold amount of riches and connections. Like I gotta be Jay-Z to affect anything over there.
But the thing is, our scholars have already told us the answer is just working together cooperatively. Work together as a group. It's not complicated. You know what I'm saying? So
It's not complicated. We just really have to act. We really have to be the kind of people that as soon as we see something that needs us, we show up in service.
yep.
We show up in service. We don't, wait for somebody to call us to service. We don't wait for, it to be beneficial for us. We don't wait for it to be so bad that it's too bad to come back from. Because a lot of times that's what we do. We look at a lot of our issues in the community. We look at a lot of the things we got going on, and we're like, it'll get fixed someday. Somebody will, and then 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years pass, and we're like, damn, why ain't nobody did nothing about this yet?
You know what? You know what I just thought about? I just thought about that family that called you a couple weeks ago because their family member died over here. Remember that?
Right.
Died over here. I don't know the guy. RJ just called me and said, Sister Yaa, we got a brother that died over there. The family members called, and I immediately go into, okay, what do I need to do? You know what I'm saying? What do they need me to do? It wasn't about what anybody gonna send
me. Not what's in it for me.
Nothing.
Not, is he gonna compensate me for my time?
Right.
My sister said, what I gotta do? Just give me the information, I'm gonna handle it. And 10 minutes later, she hit me back with part of the solution.
You see what I'm saying? So this is why I get so frustrated sometimes with people who be spreading lies and talking shit about us. They don't even know how much we really care about our people. You know what I'm saying? And what we trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So but we're gonna keep pushing anyway. We're not gonna let it stop us. But the point I'm saying is, just like our president Nana said, I'm not happy about him taking them damn vaccines, but it's something.
They are distributing the vaccine in Africa, everybody.
And
just let you know that
it has come to Ghana, but they haven't said anything about it being mandatory. And I'm not taking it. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, we recently had an incident, and where Nana said, and I don't want to get too political because some people get in their feeling, but it was a controversial topic that came up over here dealing with some LGBTQ people trying to push an agenda, and Nana came out and he said, "Not on my watch." It's not gonna happen, So I said all that to say, if you over here and you need some help, and I'm not gonna let you suffer. If I can show up and do anything to assist you, I want to do that. Just like when those brothers got sick over here, and I didn't ask, you got some money for me before I come to the hospital? No, the fiance called me. He's not right. Where's the hospital? I showed up, right? That's what you do. We need people on the ground that literally just care about us. You know what I'm saying? And and when we have problems, I got an elder. She's here alone. She contacted me. She needs a reliable plumber. She needs a reliable electrician. She needs a reliable, something as simple as that. Guess what I'm doing? I'm gonna find her these reliable plumbers, electricians, and
putting that work.
That's what I'm doing right now. Part of my work is I'm out here tapping my resources. I need this for this elder sister. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So
really quickly, before we even get off of that, because our next guest is a living embodiment of that. And so just to give you a little background, so this sister is a Fulbright scholar, first of all. Very well educated, very intelligent, very inspirational just in her intellectual abilities alone. Second of all, a great person. Also a Greek, as we were just talking about, Sister Yaa. But this sister came here to put in some work on her scholarship program. But before she came here, she gave me a call. She said, you know what? I'm coming there. They got me living out, somewhere in Cowlack. I don't know where it's at, some country town out there. But while I'm there, I want to put in some work. I want to get in. I want to get involved in whatever y'all have going on. Whatever time I'm not putting in on my scholarship program, I want to be putting in that time in service. And so this sister is here with us. Her name is Wen Cooney Siant. She is live with us right now today. Wen Cooney, or Winnie as we call her. What's going on, sister?
What's going on, Mahdi? It's so good to see you. I originally was like, I don't know how to work this camera, but I was like, I gotta come see my brother. Sister Yaa, nice to meet you. I'm Wen Cooney. And
You
it's just
too.
it's just
Nice
a
to meet you,
pleasure
sis.
to be with y'all. I gotta first off shout out Howard Girls Are Lit real quick.
Okay,
Hey,
HBCU,
all right.
HBCU in
I'm
the
a
building.
Howard woman, so Africa was in me before I came to
Yes.
Africa. So I was just really blessed to have the opportunity to come across Mahdi, and he just helped me with so many things while I was out there. So I'm excited to chat with y'all today.
Nice, nice. So when you came down here, first of all, you're a first timer in this place, and one of the things that you identified before you came here was that you wanted to help. And first, I just want to understand, like, where did that come from? What inspired you to want to? I mean, you could have dedicated your free time doing anything. You could have went touring the country. You could have hung out. You could have did nightclubs, whatever you wanted. But you decided to contribute. What made you want to do that?
So for me, Mahdi, the choice was pretty easy. My family is from Haiti, and that's where everything always starts for me. Having an understanding of Haiti as one of the first Black republics in the Western Hemisphere was so important to me that I gave back, because that's something that my parents forged in me when I was very young, is always giving back. And to be honest, Senegal reminded me so much of my home, in that it's francophone speaking, and that we had
All right.
similar experiences
She's
of being
frozen.
colonized by the French.
Or am I the
Can
only
you
one
guys
that's
see me?
frozen?
Yeah, we can see you. We can hear you. Hello? You still with us, Winnie? Looks like maybe somebody probably called her while she was on. Sister Yaa, you still there?
Uh-oh.
Winnie, we can.
Can you guys see me? Hear me?
Yeah, we can see you.
We're good? Okay. Sorry
Yep,
about
yep.
that. I'm not sure what happened.
No
But
problem.
what I was saying is, as a Haitian American, it's always been important to give back. And like I said, the cultural differences amongst Senegal and Haiti were something that were really profound to me. And so, of course, one of the things that I wanted to do is make sure I gave back to the community that I was living in. I think a lot of times as Americans, we come in with that superior mindset, like we know what's going on, we know where the problems are, we just want to fix things. And I really
Right.
didn't have that mindset. My mindset was to really sit at the feet of the elders and the people who had integrated themselves in the community and figure out how I could help. What's the best way that I could lend my services? And that's how I came across you, the Give One Project, and eventually the Women's Incubator, to really align myself with people that had similar mindsets. And I think that I got more from y'all than y'all got from me, to be honest.
I mean, that's debatable because you contributed a lot, especially to that women's incubator. And speaking of the Give One Project, it's an organization that is community based and focusing on developing people in their professional skills, particularly young people. And so when you came and took on that task of leading our women's business incubator, you kind of got to build relationship with some women who, they're just as woman as you. They're just as human as you. They love just like you, but they were missing some things that they needed to complete their economic journey. How do you feel like you contributed to that? Like, how do you feel like you perhaps changed some of those women's trajectory that you worked with? You still with us, sis?
Absolutely. I can't echo your sentiments enough about these women were just like me. Some of them were even the same age as me. A lot of them were older than me at the time. I believe I'm 28 now, so I was probably 25, 26 while I was out there. And so, it was really a humbling experience to be in the position to lead that. But I just thought of the experiences of, hey, you might have more didactic training in these particular areas, but these women have actually been out in the field doing the work. And so really what they needed from me was just some polishing about, how to put together a business plan or how to go to a bank for a loan or a micro loan, learning about things like microfinancing, etc. But they had all of the skills and the prowess. These are some women that were merchandising, branding, doing a lot of these things already organically. All they needed from me was a little bit of organizational skills and getting pointed to the right resources. And I think that's oftentimes what all of our people need, is just to the right resources, because the ingenuity is there.
That's right. That's right. And so you also got to spend time with a lot of other young people that were working with us at Give One Project. We were doing all kind of things at that time: English classes, computer classes, and we had the cafe Wi-Fi thing going, and just generating all of these different resources for this community. And so now a lot of those people, even I know you remember Usman was there, and also Ahmed Abdul, I'm sorry, Ahmed Bassoum, and all of these guys. Now these guys are like, they took what they got from us at that time, and now they're traveling the world. They are running businesses. They're creating their own lanes. How does it feel now, just like knowing that, I contributed, I mean, I don't know, you were there, 6 months with us, I guess. You contributed that amount of time, and now it's influenced people to take their lives to the next level. What is that like?
That means so much to me, Mandi, that that they've succeeded in the ways that they have. And these are some smart brothers that you mentioned. Uzman is someone I still keep in contact with closely, as is Ahmed. I actually saw Uzman because, he's here now. He's in Salt Lake
Right.
City. But I saw him when he had just entered the country. We met up in Philly, and it was such a beautiful reunion. And, these are people that are like, I consider you a lifelong friend. And that's something I know, that if I ever come, well, not if, when I come back to Senegal, I have my allies on the ground that are already there to make a way for me. And I told Pop I'm just waiting for the new city to open, the new
Right.
the new
Al
Citro
Kabalon.
currency. I'm waiting for my invitation, because I'm gonna come out there, and show love. I want to bring some colleagues with me, because I believe strongly in what you guys are doing in Senegal. I believe strongly in what's happening in the continent, generally speaking, and I'm so passionate about that. It's like Haiti, and it's like the African continent. Like, that's really my two loves, and so the opportunity to combine those things are really, it means so much to me. But I love the fact that they're doing so well, and some of the young ladies in the program hit me up from time to time, and it makes me proud, and it humbles me, and it pushes me forward in my own endeavors. Because after I left Senegal, my question to myself every day upon arriving back to the States was, what's your excuse? Because you've seen people do more with less. So every day I would ask myself, what's your excuse? What's your excuse? And so now I don't make excuses anymore.
I know that's right. Yeah, don't make no excuses no more. And speaking of no excuses, you have some amazing accomplishments. Not only are you a HBCU alum, not only are you a Fulbright scholar, not only did you come over
I
here
had
and
to
do an
stop.
amazing job contributing to the continent, but you went back home, you started your own company, an amazing app that you're developing to help young people to understand politics, etc. And you've also been featured in Forbes, which is like every entrepreneur's dream. Like, how does it feel, now now that you're already in the, the space of developing, what's next for you, and how's it working out?
Well, politicking honestly has grown way past, some of my wildest dreams, and I'm so proud of it. Politicking, like you mentioned, it's a social political platform. We're based, app based. We are in the iOS and Google Play Store, so whatever phone you have, you can download it. We're also very active on social media: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We have a website, politicingapp.com, and really the purpose of the app, like you mentioned, is to engage and galvanize millennials to be involved in local, state, and federal politics. And we've gotten some really fortunate breaks. And I will really say that my time in Senegal and Cadillac specifically was what gave me that oomph and that fire under myself to make sure that when we got back to the States, we were pushing, pushing, pushing. We had opportunities to work with Alexis Ohanian, who is Serena Williams' husband, but also the co-founder of Reddit. And he was kind of pivotal in us starting to get that initial media attention because he took interest in us, and he's a big deal in the tech world. And since then, we've been grinding. We've been featured in Forbes, Black. And so it's been a runaway train, to be honest with you, but I always encourage everyone to just download us. Right now we're focused on mayoral elections. I know Mahdi, before he moved to Senegal, used to live in Atlanta, and one of the things we're covering this year is the Atlanta mayoral race.
Right.
Keisha Bottoms is up for re-election, or maybe she's not going to be re-elected, depending on how things may go. And we just had a big Senate race in Georgia,
Right.
with Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff. So
Right.
it's so much going on in the state of Georgia and beyond. New York City's mayor's up for election, New Orleans, Boston. These are really big cities, and we're focused on making sure we cover that.
That's good. That's good. Yo, you are probably one of the top 10 most inspirational people that I know, my sister. Like you keep on impressing us. You've shown, by example, what it means to be in service to the community. And you've definitely taken that, and, it's catapulted you. We can see it. And we look forward to what else is in store for you. Thanks so much for joining us. You have a good one. We'll talk soon.
Thank you so much, Mahdi. And I'll make sure to send the social media, but follow us at Politicking. I'm on Instagram and on all of our handles. And Mahdi, whatever you need, I'm here for you, my brother. And like I said, I'm waiting for my invitation for the grand opening. So you make sure I get that, and I'll be on the next one.
And it's Politicking, Politickin, right?
CKING.
Okay.
Yep.
Boom.
So
all
you
right,
can put
guys,
that,
make sure
and
y'all
people can find
check her out and download that app. Get involved in your local and primary elections. All those elections coming up, right?
Thank you so much, Mahdi. I look forward to. Yep. Local elections, state elections, and federal elections. So we cover the whole gamut.
Let's do it. All right, guys. So that's Wen Cooney Seance. She is a Fulbright scholar. Spent time with us here in Kaolack, Senegal. 4 hours outside Dakar. A very hot town, but beautiful people, beautiful environment, spiritual town. And she contributed a great deal to that community, just in terms of, knowledge. That's all she shared. She didn't have to come and spend any money. She didn't have to, do anything like that, but just contributed her time to teach people something that she understood and that they didn't yet understand. So not only did the people that she teach go on to develop a business based on her teaching, so she came into our Give One project and led our women's business incubator. So taught those women everything from business plan to production, right?
That's beautiful.
Banking, everything. Then we gave them funding to start the business, 1.5 million Safer, sponsored by Give One Project, Chon Young. All right. Then they took that money, invested it into a business that developed moringa. Okay. So natural herb that grows here in abundance. They took that
Yeah.
product, grounded it up, packaged it up, and then we helped them to export it to the U.S. So then we have a distributor based in California who
Wow.
buys, tons of pounds of moringa from these women who she taught
Changing
business.
lives.
You
Changing
understand? You see
lives.
how this works?
Changing
I promise y'all,
lives.
this is
Changing
I couldn't
lives.
make
I
this
love
up.
it. I love it. I love it, man.
That's how it
Beautiful.
works, as
Yep.
community service.
That's absolutely beautiful, man. The sister is wonderful. I mean, very impressive young sister, man.
Yeah. Y'all make sure y'all go follow her page. Okay? All right, guys. It's politicking. So on Instagram, they have a page. They also have an app on the App Store. All right. So, yeah, you guys, y'all, we try to bring y'all real life examples. I don't like to just, get on here and tell you stuff. Like, we have to show you these things, show you the reality behind them, show you that other people are doing, normal people are doing them, and committing themselves to be a resource and a bridge for other people. That's all it requires. Have that wholehearted mentality that tells you that I am a resource to my brother, whether I know it or not.
Yep.
You might feel like you don't got nothing to offer, and the next guy look at you and be like, yo, you're hella privileged.
Yep.
Right? So, we got to balance that out by contributing to, those who need it.
Yep. All right, Jay, while just sitting here while the sister was talking, I just checked my mail. I got a mail. I told y'all about this thing that's going on with the residency, and I had to go to the Office of Diaspora and Affairs. Got about 20 families here with kids, everything, needing their residency and just didn't know what to do, because they kind of tripping at immigration. I got all the information. I went to Diaspora and Affairs. They told me what to do. I collected this whole list of people, their copies of their passports, everything. I sent it off to Diaspora and Affairs, and I just got the response back today that they're working on the list. They're taking care of it. So all these 20 families now, this is what I'm saying. This is my point I'm trying to make. Instead of having 20 families running around, not knowing what to do, feeling frustrated, who's going to get, I said, I will deal with this problem for you.
Right.
I haven't asked anybody for a dime.
Right.
I'm not asking you to give me anything. I will deal with it. I will take this leadership role and go over here and I will solve this problem for our people. So, and I don't need you to give me anything. You know what I'm saying? So people can rest. They don't have to worry about what's going to happen, who's going to, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So this is the type of thing that I'm saying. This is what I want Sankofa, the organization, to be for people. When you encounter issues, there is somebody. And I don't want it to just be me all the time. I want some other people. I need some other people over here.
And that's really where the balance comes from. If more of us were doing service, if more of us were in service, then none of us would have to be overwhelmed with it. And that's where, like I said a little while ago, community leads to security. You understand? Yeah. Like, don't let that go over y'all's head. Community leads to security. When you got a community, you're secure. You got people to lean on. You got people to defend you. You got people to come to your aid if need be. That's security. Right? When you think about investing in a place and how secure is it to invest in, the first thing you think about is who's there that I trust. Right? Who's there that I trust? Who's there that I can count on? Who's there that I know has my back? And so when you have that community, that security that comes from it, now we can grow. Now we can bloom with, less trauma.
Yeah, exactly. And that you're not out here you're not out here by yourself. You're not out here alone. You know what I'm saying? You got a support system. That's what it's about. So when things come up, you got a support system. So, but
That's what we
yeah,
need.
we gonna keep trying for it. I'm very
Regina
impressed with
says
that
she
that
love
young
you.
sister. I love you too, sis. Oh man, me and Regina been Facebook friends for about 7-8 years now.
Really? Shout out to Regina.
Yeah.
Mo says support the Sankofa Repatriation Assistance Program. This is real, guys. You know, this is real. This is the difference between the walkers and the talkers, right? Support. And support don't always just mean money, right? Yes, organizations like ours and Sankofa, we need funds to operate and to do the things that we do. But support comes in many forms. You can alleviate a cost by contributing a service, right? Don't let that go over y'all's head. You can alleviate a cost by contributing a service. And when you do that, you're in service to the community, right? Not just a geographic community, not just a neighborhood, not just a city, but a community of like-minded people, a community of people who are moving in a like direction. Let me give you an example. When we came here, one of the things that we, noticed in the school, and one of the schools that was in the area that we lived, was a situation where petty illnesses were being, kind of passed around between the kids. Illnesses that, we could have possibly avoided. And so there's a sister in this community whose mother, 30 years ago, built a clinic. Okay, her mother came here, African-American sister came here 30 years ago in the 80s, 90s, built a clinic for this community that she loved. All right, now her daughter is here in that same community and became the director of that clinic. All right, her daughter's now married and lives here and was running that clinic. And for her, this is how she wanted to use that resource, that clinic, to give service to this community. So they gave 1,000 children in this town free health care on that clinic. Let's watch.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
initiative that we have here today is a day of free clinic for all the students in the Quran school. It's an initiative that we feel like returns the clinic back to the intention of Sheikh Hassan Sisi. We used to often say that a sound mind is in a sound body. So his intention with this institute was to have a school, have a clinic, and have the radio station, all to help in the development, complete the total development of humanity. So our intention here today was to do an activity for the community that reminded the people of Sheikh Hassan Sisi's mission and reminded the clinic personnel of the mission of the clinic. So we have doctors that came from other places that come and help and get free consultation. We have people in the community who donated money so that we could buy medicine and host the doctors. Alhamdulillah, so far the day has gone well. This is only 3:30 and we've seen over 500 patients. Our intention was to do 1,000 between today and tomorrow. fortunate to continue to do these kinds of activities in the future. May Allah make us successful in that. And may Allah give us long life to realize all of the initiatives and all of Shahad's vision by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Man, that was awesome.
All right.
I love it.
You see,
I love
normal
that. Yeah.
people, man. We doing things that contribute to the
That was
communities
awesome.
we live in. This is a sister who came to a community she loved here on the soil, who had a resource that her mother left her. And she used that resource to give back to 1,000 kids. And I just want to shout this sister out. That was not a one-off event. That video you watched, I filmed that video. But she did that video for years after. That was an annual event.
Wow.
That was held annually.
That's beautiful.
Where over 1,000 children who didn't have medical attention, small ailments, small stuff, ringworm,
Yeah.
you know, small stuff. And you're like, you know, we could help this kid with this, right? And she didn't have to dig deep into her pockets to do this. She didn't have to, you know, splurge out of her own, you know, goods, but she organized it, brought some doctors, she brought some people with medicine, she brought some people who could, you see, and then we all, the rest of the community, we chipped in. My service was, I'll film it for you. I've got cameras, we got the support, I'll film it for you so that we can, you know, show what's going on and
let people know
support, right? Yeah. So this is service, guys. This is service. This is what we're talking about. Right? This is what we have to be doing when we come home. And that sister's from same city I'm from. She's from Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah. We should be doing this no matter where we are. If you're in the States or the UK, or we should be doing this no matter where we are. But definitely when we come home, we should continue service work. Because I'm telling you, the people, when you do this type of service work, you don't know the love and respect and the admiration you get from the people, man. You know, you just
beautiful. Shout out to Ali Cole.
Like you said before, this type of thing, it gives you the security. Because guess what? The people are never going to let anything happen to you. You know what I'm saying? You come in and start helping and providing services and bringing resources. Those people going to look out for you. Ain't nobody going to do nothing to you. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
My brother Ali, thanks so much. Ali says he's getting his ducks in a row, working on a plan, and needs some help, Sister Yaa. So you
beautiful.
That's right. That's right. Link in, tap in. Ali, we will be welcoming you like family, my brother. So
thank you, brother Ali.
That's what it's all about.
Thank you.
That's what it's all about. Yeah. So you guys chime in the chat. Tell us what ways can you contribute to these communities. And we're not just talking about money. If you can give money, great. We appreciate that. We can put it to use. We can use it to develop things. But we do also want you guys to think about, you know, how else can you contribute? You know, what skills do you have? What particular resources are you privy to? What connections may you be able to activate? What interests, what passions do you have that you want to affect, right? This is the kind of questions you ask yourself when you start to think about, what can I do for community service? Like, what can I do, right? I'm just a normal guy. You know, I work for my money. You know, I get by. How can I affect something? These are the questions you ask yourself.
Yeah.
You know, what resource do I have? What connections? You know, how can I apply some of these skills that I've developed, you know, throughout my life to help other people, and not just in Africa, but like Sister Yaa said, in your communities as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, one of the things that really bothers me, and I wish I had a solution to it, brother, when I'm out here moving around in these across streets and I see all these kids in the middle of the day that are not in school, I don't know if I want to call them street kids, because I think they have somewhere to live, parents and stuff. I don't think they're homeless, but they're just selling, they're hawking stuff on the streets, trying to make money. These are little kids. I'm talking little, 5, 6, 7. These kids should be in school. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to do about that, but it really disturbs my soul. I don't know, because at the end of the day, I'm looking, if they're not in school and this is what they're doing now, what's their future going to be like when they're 15, 16, 17, 20? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know. If anybody
And
has
this
any type of
that's a project that even we've
idea,
been thinking about here, because Senegal has it as well. Senegal has what they call street children, and you're right. Most of the time they're not homeless, and many times they're not orphans, even as they're sometimes purported to be. A lot of times they are sent to major cities from smaller villages and towns, because their parents feel like they may have more opportunity to to feed themselves there. So we see them a lot. They come up to us. We even have ones that live right around us in our community, in our neighborhood, that know us, and they're familiar with us. We come around. We give them what we have, share our food with them, things like that. But in a greater retrospect, we have plans and people who are willing to contribute to efforts to house those kinds of kids, create boarding schools and different types of opportunities to where they can be safer and off the street and don't necessarily have to fend for themselves. This is a great community service project. This is something that together with our resources we can build small houses, these types of environments that they can be safe and they can have a soft bed to sleep on, and somebody can feed them, etc. They can be bathed daily, etc., and then taken care of, and still be able to get their
and
education,
educated,
and
and
still be able.
educated, and
Right, right,
educated,
right,
and
right.
educated.
This is important, and
You
in
know,
Senegal, that's been a
because
topic. That's been a topic in the news lately, for sure.
yeah, that is something, it for me, I'm overwhelmed by it because I got so many other things going on. But I'm just putting that out there for somebody who has the time and the resources and energy to develop a project that maybe Sankofa can get behind and support, and whatever we can do. But
Kate says, is
something
there
has
any
to be done
vocational
because this is
training
ridiculous. It's
programs
really
for them?
ridiculous. It's awful.
That's a great idea, Kate. A
For 5 and 6 year old,
training
no.
program, and maybe not for the really young ones, because like Sister Yaa said, sometimes they are pretty young, 6, 7, 8 years old. But there are older ones, in their teen years that would be great for
Yeah.
some type of institute where they can come in and learn a skill.
Yeah.
Part of our development plan for the city of Al Kabalon is to have those
Yeah.
kind of training institutes for young people, because here, more so than in the U.S., young people and their families have the decision of how their education goes. And that's something that we don't see so much in the US. You take your kids out of school and give them some alternative option, maybe you get treated like a weirdo or like you're neglecting your child. Whereas here, parents might let their kids go to school through 8th grade and then take them out and let them be an apprentice in a carpentry shop, or as a tailor, or as a plumber or an electrician, etc. And that is what a lot of young people need. Maybe not all, but for some people that's a better path to develop
Yeah.
a skill that they can feed themselves from. So a training institute would be great.
Yeah, that's actually a wonderful idea. So for that idea, you would have to think you definitely want to, you know, build your own facility. You would probably want to consider having enough land to grow food and stuff like that, because
Right.
to be able to feed these children
Be
while you
sustainable.
educate them, and then make so it can be. You got to find a way for it to be sustainable, because I'm telling you, speaking from experience, trying to rely just on donations to keep going is
It's not the
not
way.
where it's at.
So hey, let's take the step today. Let's be solution oriented. I'm gonna put the call out right now. If you feel like you can contribute to something like this, get in our inbox. get in our inbox. Email us. You can email me, same as my username here, kingrjmahdi@gmail.com. Or Sister Yaa. You can hit up Sankofa, is admin at Sankofa, Repat. But get in our inbox, right? Let us know how you can contribute. Why don't we put together a not only potentially a boarding house or something for younger street children, or as they call them here in Senegal, Taliban, which is the more cultural, spiritual name here. But also some type of training institute for older youth to teach them skills
Yeah.
that can be beneficial to them economically. So if you can contribute to something like that, if you have either the funds, the materials, the resources, the connections, any of the above, the passion, even if you just got the passion, if you just say, hey, look, I'll come down there and be a teacher. All right, I'll come down there and be a teacher. I'll come down there and share my skill. If you have skills in HVAC and tech and STEM and coding and these types of things,
all of that, yes,
hit us up.
yes.
If you can, and this separates the talkers from the walkers now. All right, I'm putting the call out. I'm telling you that if you hit me up and say that you got the resources, I'm gonna help you put them to use. All right, let's do it.
Yeah. I would love to see a facility like that, man. And we just go out here and even go to the parents and be like, look, I see your child out here doing this. Can we put them in the school and teach them something, teach them a trade? You know what I'm saying? And so that they can do something other than this,
Imagine
and build a
if you start
facility, build a very.
Imagine if you start teaching 10, 11, 12-year-olds, robotics and telecommunication mechanisms, and had them start creating cell phones and start creating robots and start creating, computers. Imagine if come on, guys. It's not even that different. And a lot of you guys got these skills, and you probably got a job down at Google or one of these top tech firms, and you good. You getting 120 a year. You got your crib, your car, you nice, and you like, yeah. But what you don't know is that bringing a skill like you have and applying it to the communities and the young people here, you could be the next Google, right? They could be the next Facebook. They could be the next WhatsApp. You could be the next Elon, right? We're talking bigger than that job that you got, that salary that they're paying you to come in and help them make billions.
RJ,
right? Let's think bigger.
I'm just thinking because the whole idea of this, I'm thinking about changing that one child's life. You change their whole family life. When you change that child's life, then that child can go out there and provide and change his family's life. You see what I'm saying? So man, I wish we could do it. I really, honest to God, I wish that we could build this facility.
I'm optimistic that somebody watching this show today is going to email me in a little while and say, hey, man, look, I got what you need. That's why I'm optimistic. I know that somebody that's watching has that kind of a heart and spirit. And somebody that's watching has that kind of skill and talent. And somebody that's watching can make it happen. I know it. Right? The only thing left right now is if you're going to act on it. Right? That
I believe we can do. I know we have the resources to do it. I know we have the intellectual. We have the intellectual resources. We have the financial resources.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, still got that delay.
I'm sorry, it was breaking up, brother. It looked like I'm delayed. So I was talking, you were talking. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just saying, I know that we can do it. I get so listen. I'm not. When I see, I just I see these Asian children doing these STEM things at a very young age. That they're learning, they're being taught. Things are changing in the world. We're going to digital currency. The technology is just changing, And our children are on the streets selling things and, trying to eat that day. If we're going to really compete in this world, we have to deal with these children. We have to. And for me, this is my thing. I don't like the classism thing. I don't like that it's only wealthy people who get the benefit of everything good. I don't like that. That's one of the reasons why again, I'm going back to Sankofa. I don't like the fact that repatriation has become like a middle class or retiree movement. Anybody that wants to come home should be able to come home. You understand what I'm saying? So the goal was to financially assist those who don't have the resources to come. So I'm the cheerleader for the underdog. That's me. That's how I am. I want to see
Likewise.
the underdog win. So when I see these children out here, even here in Africa, it's like the rich. I'm for real. It's like the rich people get everything and everybody else is just fighting for crumbs trying to survive. So my thing is, how do we change the lives of these less fortunate people, these children? How do we make them, change their family? How do we, like RJ said, change the trajectory of these people's lives? So
and that affects their whole community.
We can do it if we work together collectively. And people have to get out of this mind.
When you say how people, if you change that one person's life, you change their family's life. But more importantly, you change that whole community's life, right? Because just think of the effect that one person can have on a community, not even just in terms of what they're able to do, but what they're able to inspire. And so that's what we sometimes, because we can't monetize inspiration, a lot of times we discount it, right? We take it for granted that, just having one person come out of your community who does the unimaginable leads the way for maybe 3 more, right? But that 3 also leads the way for 9 more, who leads the way for more and more and more and more. And we see this time and time again with, micro movements that are well led, right? Because they inspire other people to do the same. When we saw the example that, Marcus Garvey took 100 years ago, we're still taking those strategies and practices and implementing them in our modern day and trying to use them to advance, right? That's an inspiration that has lasted a century.
Yeah.
So not only was he able to affect the 5-6 million followers that he had in 1920, 1921, but the millions of people over the decades to follow up until now, right? And that's created something that is much more valuable than anything you can monetize. You can't put a monetization on that, right? You can't calculate that, but you know its effect. You see its effect. And so that's what we want to be able to inspire. And he was just a kid from Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You never know.
Yeah.
You never know
we
what
can do
inspiration is going to come out of.
We can do it, man. We can do it. RJ, can you imagine bringing them babies off the street and putting them in school and teaching them something? Man, y'all finna make me cry. I feel like I want to cry. Woo! We bring them babies off the street. Oh my God! I'm telling y'all.
Page or sign up option.
Bring them babies off the street, man.
This actually exists already, guys. So you can go to our website, madeinafricaproject.com, and you can contact us directly through there, right? We have the platforms. Hit us up. We have forms for all of that. You guys just, engage. Just reach out. Even if it's just a message, we know how to direct, your interests. So just hit us up, man. It's a really easy way to communicate, these days, guys. Like, it's so many platforms, there's so many inboxes, DMs, right? Just get in one of them and say, hey, this is what I'm looking to do. Right? So the easiest way to do that is go to our website, madeinafricaproject.com. On that website, you can find all of the links, not only to shop, visit, invest, relocate to the continent, but to contribute to make a contribution to the Exodus Alliance via the donor box, the link that you see scrolling on the screen. There's a button on the website where you can donate there directly. All right. So if it's money that you want to contribute, go ahead, make a contribution. $10, $20, $50, $100, right? Just drop it in the account and we will, make sure to put it where it can be used. If you don't believe in, if you've not seen enough proof from us to believe in what we do, then we're not asking from you anything. We're not asking from you anything. If you're not convinced, if you've not followed us or seen the work that we do, the contributions we make, the way that we teach, the help we provide, the assistance if you don't believe in that or see that, or that hasn't shown you proof that we are what we say we are, then we're not asking from you anything. But if what you've seen shows you that we are walking what we are talking, this program that we do once a week is only for 2 hours. It's only for 2 hours, right? I do YouTube, but I only drop a video every 2 months, right? We're not just out here talking. We walking this walk day in, day out, all night long through the night.
That's why a lot of people be like, "Oh, Sister Yaa, when you gonna do a video? When you gonna do a video?" Honestly, I just don't have a lot of time to just sit around doing videos because it's so much work to be done.
It's so much work. For real. Y'all don't understand. We are really in the trenches. We are really out here working all day, every day. I mean, it's nonstop. It's nonstop because
it is.
Now that we've, made ourselves available to those who are making the transition, the floodgates are open. You guys are coming. And we can't complain about that. We love it. We'd love to see y'all coming. It give us chills every time one of y'all touch down and say, I'm at the airport, or I'm coming, or I got my ticket, or, we love it. But we also understand that, and when they say come in your huddled masses, we saying come in your huddled masses ready to roll up your sleeves. Bring some, contribute some, right? Bring that, office furniture you got stuck in a storage locker somewhere. You paying $30, $40 a month to public storage for something you ain't gonna never use again. Just put it in a container. Costs about $2,500. You're gonna get more than that on your taxes. Put it in the container, send it over here. We'll put it to use. All right. That furniture you don't need no more. That car, that's just sitting in your backyard, right? Or that, machinery that you got just sitting up.
If y'all want, y'all,
send it over here. Let's put it to work. That's service. That's service.
Yep. Absolutely.
Sure. Ali, you're absolutely right, man. Our young kids, we got to have them in something productive. We got to contribute to that productivity. It's no longer the day where we can just sit around and be like, oh, the government should, or this person should, or right. We got to do that, man. We got to pull what we have together.
Absolutely.
And make those contributions ourselves. Yeah. You see, our leaders are taking these kind of stances. I see somebody mentioned earlier, Brother Umar, who is also building a school with the same, types of, leadership mentalities, developing people's skills, right? So we see those things happening. My brother Chon Young, who's the founder of the Give One Project, as we were just talking about a little while ago, just built a leadership institute here in Senegal, an agriculture and leadership institute. He's got all this hectareage or acreage of farmland, and he's teaching young people how to farm, how to be sustainable. He's putting them through full, trainings, creating all types of, resources for them to go out and feed themselves in their communities. He's a normal guy. Ali says, what about textbooks, science and math? Yes. Books. books. We have multiple libraries that we work with,
Yeah.
that we bring books to stock them with. So, for instance, there's a library in Cowlack that we helped establish through the Give One Project. This is a city that's never had a public library, just open to the public, free library. And so we said, what? How? Why? Let's do it. Let's make it happen. And so a couple years ago, a few years back,
Yeah.
we put all our
Yeah.
resources together. We called universities in America, family, friends. Hey, send books. They sent barrels of books. They came. University students came. They flew all the way here to Senegal and brought boxes of books with them and said, "We here to show up and contribute." And we built a
That's awesome.
library and just left it. We didn't get paid nothing. We didn't ask for nothing out of it. No salary,
Right.
no nothing. Went, got the internet turned on, got the lights
Right.
and the electric and everything turned on, painted the place, put shelves up. We collected furniture from some of our houses and families' houses. I wouldn't lie to you guys. Furnished the place and just left it there and said, "Hey, here, you guys got a library." And all the way up until right now,
That's
mind you
awesome.
guys, this was in 2016. All the way up until right now, that library is being used by young people in that community. They meet there, they have meetings for their book clubs, they meet there for incubators, they meet there for English classes.
I love
Service.
it.
So yes, my brother, if you have books, hit me up. I will get you the address and shipping information. Send us barrels. Send us all you can collect, right? Put them in barrels, boxes. You can either do the containers or you can ship them through the air, but books are heavy, so I would say containers would
Yep.
definitely be best. All right. So these are the kind of things we gotta do, guys. And that's just one library. Now we're working with another library in Dakar that's already established, and they already have a great amount of books, but they're all in French. And so now, as a lot of the young people here are wanting to learn English because it is the greater global language, especially for doing business around the world, they want English books to be able to read and practice and work on their English. So that library is just a few blocks from my home here. All of us repatriates who are all here in Dakar, we all live in the same general area, and that library sits right in the middle. And so we partnered with that library a few months back to do just that, to help start English classes, to create community programs where local kids could mix with some of the repat kids and they could have language exchange programs. And we also committed to helping to bring books to that library. So you guys help us live up to that, man. Y'all, you're who we look to. I mean, if I had to get them, I'd have to reach back to the States and get them anyway. So you guys help out. Q Butter has a school. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I love that man.
I know in New York. Yeah.
Yeah, man. He was on
Yeah, I love that brother.
2020
He's doing some
program
good
last
things
year.
in New York.
Right, man. This guy in Brownsville,
Yeah.
Brooklyn, he's teaching these kids everything.
I
from
noticed here
STEM
in
to
Ghana.
space. Go ahead. Go ahead, yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah, you still with us?
Yeah, he is. He's doing great. I was just going to say that I noticed here, this goes back to what I'm talking about, the haves and have-nots, the classism, because the only few libraries that I've seen are in the art. Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me? It's a delay. I'm delayed for some reason. I don't understand why, but the only libraries I've seen are in the upper class, the well-to-do neighborhoods. I just don't see libraries where the children that really need them have access to them. Because the children in the poorer neighborhoods, how they going to travel over to the upscale neighborhoods to just go and enjoy the library and have access
Something that
to
should be
books
in
and read
close
books.
proximity.
You know what I mean? So, in the States, that's literally something that I used to do with my children just for a Saturday afternoon, is just go to the library. You know what I mean? Because, in the States, we got these big, beautiful libraries, and they got the computers, and they got the children's sections with all the books. It just looks like it almost looked like yeah, the library in the States where we come from is damn near like an amusement park, you know.
Right.
And it's a place that kids enjoy going to. There's fun things. There's a story time, reading time. You know what I'm saying? All type of events that goes on at the library, but they simply don't have that here. So how do you get a child to want to read and enjoy reading and have a love for reading when he's out selling crap every day. He doesn't have access to books. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Thank you, Sister Ange Africa. That sister stayed at the Sankofa Repat house with me and her son, Amon, a few months back.
Nice.
So yeah, I listen, I'm on the ground. If there's anybody, because I have so much on my plate, it's not a project that I can take charge of and lead the helm, but I definitely will support it. If the group wants to, of our listeners, if y'all think this is something that y'all really want to do, then we can organize ourselves and we can make it happen. We can create this facility. We can make classrooms. We can have a library there. We can have a garden to grow food so the children can learn about agriculture and growing their own food. We can have the STEM classes, the robotics classes, and we can really do that. That's something we can really do and show that we're not just about talking, but we're really trying to make a difference. We can do it, and I love the idea.
Ain't nothing to it but to do it.
I love it.
All right, so that brings us to the end of today's show, guys. Today's show has been about community service, being in service to the communities that we live and work and love. And so we want to leave you with the inspiration of getting involved. We are here on the ground. We've given you guys a few ideas of some ways you can get involved, not just with the street children, but also with the medical assisting. We had a sister from Atlanta who's given 1,000 kids annual medical assistance. We showed you examples of the cleanup campaigns that we did. Chief Foday chimed in early in the show about the cleanup campaign they do in Sierra Leone. And these are all repatriates. These are all, folks coming home and contributing. So with that and those examples, we hope to inspire you all. We hope that somebody or a number of you will reach out to us after this live and let us know how you can get involved, how you can contribute. And we are here, ready and willing to facilitate. All right. So we love you all. Thanks so much. We hope you go into this week with great success and, take it to the next level. All right. Look like Sister Yaa dipped out already. So I'll sign off for you guys. This is Exodus Radio. See you guys next week.